And I didn't see it coming. I didn't see the rude awakening. When we first started talking, it was cupcakes, cool cupcakes and rainbow. I can never envision that man being abusive. But also that goes into lust. I know I'm going to be talking about lust on the next topic after this one. I'm still on domestic violence. But I want to talk about lust real quick. Ladies, do not get with that man because he looks good. You feel like he looks good. Ooh, you know, he's cute, he's tall, he's 6 foot. Whatever the case, like whatever your type is, okay? But this dude was my type at the time. Physically, that I didn't see his spiritual sickness. I totally believe that the Most High, obviously, he's a God of all. But when he sees, as I saw, he said that he doesn't care about the outer appearance of man. He cares about what's going on in his heart, his insides. I totally believe maybe in the spiritual realm, a lot of people may be looking cute, but their spirits stink, or they look nasty in the spiritual realm. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying, at the time, like I was dumb, young, dumb. And I was lusting after this man. I thought he was cute. And I was like, what could be wrong? You know what I'm saying? He cute. He look good. You know, he doing this, he doing that. But I didn't think about the spiritual aspects of what I was bringing in my life. I give it, kid you not, a couple days after of us talking. I remember this one night we went to the park. And I came out. I think somebody called me, but I don't know who the number was, and he got horribly mad, and he literally took my phone. This is literally like, I don't even know. I want to use something. I'm just pretend like this phone. He took my phone, and he took it like this, and he threw it on the ground, and he stomped on it, and stomped on it, and stomped on it, and stomped on it. Like when I say he like I'm talking about going ham. Like he was in one of those, you know, those where you release everything out. That's how he was doing my phone. And all I could do was freeze back in fear, because I literally just came out of a relationship that was similar to it, and I was already trying to get rid of that fear that I was dealing with either even being around a man again, or even so that just brought fear right back down. So I shut back down. I shut back down in the spiritual realm. And what happened is I literally was like this, and tears were just going down my face, like just. And he was yelling at me. He was like, you did this narcissistic behavior. You did this. When men that are narcissistic, what they will try to do is they will try to blame you and say you're the reason why they're hurting you or doing things to you. And that is, ladies, if you are in a domestic, abusive, narcissistic relationship, I'm talking to women in the world, especially people, when women in the truth too, you need to separate away from your husband. You need to pray for him. You need to separate, because you don't never know what that could turn into. But women in the world, you know, like trying to get away from that, you know, as best of your ability, please, because you don't know what that man is capable of. But anyway, so tears running down my face. I'm in fear mode. I'm in froze mode. I'm in freeze mode. I'm like, so he's blaming me. He's steady stomping on it. Oh, mind you, I think I skipped the part. We literally coming out of the parking lot of the park, and he's driving, but he's yelling at me, and he's like hitting his steering wheel, yelling at me still. And I'm like crying. I'm like, I want to go home. Please take me home. Please take me home. Like, please take me home. I just remember he stopped somewhere. It was dark. He stopped somewhere. Like I said, he took my phone. He literally snatched me. I was like, give me your phone. And he came out the car and he just stomped on it. And I couldn't contact my mom. I couldn't contact nobody. You know, our praise most high, knew my mom was in my heart, but I ended up contacting her on his phone. But I literally couldn't even tell my mom, because like, she know I just came out of this. Mind you, I had to go through, when I that situation, the firearm situation, I had to go to court. I want to say maybe 2 times. I had to talk to police, maybe like a couple of times. It was annoying. It was a very annoying process. It was a very mental draining process going through that, any emotional process, because I did not want to go through that for anything. I didn't even want nobody to really, you know what I'm saying? I totally believe, like, I'm such a kind-hearted person. I didn't want nobody to get locked up. I didn't want anything, none of this to happen, but I don't know who. Oh, I'm skipping so many parts, y'all. Next to firearm, we don't know who called the police, but all I can say is the Most High had to be in the midst of that, because let me tell you why. There was nobody at that park. On the little newspaper thing regarding of the situation, it says that multiple people was at the park and there was children around. No, it wasn't. So all I could say is, me knowing now, me in this truth now, the Most High is very divine. He's omnipresent, and I know for a fact he had to be in the midst of that, and he had to allow things to happen the way that it did for us to separate. Because I wasn't going to tell nobody, because I was scared to. I was gripped with fear. But there was no damage done to me nor him, even though he was at the time he was suicidal. So like that same day when we were at the park, he did threaten to kill himself, and I came in the midst of it and got the firearm from him because he had it like this under his chin. So that did a lot to my mental health too. And this wasn't the first time. He threatened multiple times to kill himself in front of me. So that was like a lot of my mental health. I remember one time too, I thought he actually killed himself because we were on the phone. I heard the firearm go off, like he was threatening to kill himself because I didn't want to see him. And I knew where he was, and it was close by, and I ended up walking to this certain area because at the time I didn't have a vehicle, and I was worried and I was scared. My dumb self walked to where he was, and he wasn't there. And he played with my mind and manipulated me to think that he was dead. I'm sitting here calling people that he knows. This whole time this man was alive, and he called me back, so I was alive. He's sleeping in bed. So that did a lot. But anyways, fast forward back to the other dude I was with that crashed, was like snapping on my phone. Yo, let me tell you, I didn't even expect that. I didn't even expect that he was that type of dude. Because like I said, I swear, like the first few times of us meeting, he was never like that. But somehow, out of nowhere, he just turned into a complete demon. And like I said, all I could do was cry. Like I literally could just, I'm like, all I know is I want to go home, because I don't know what this man is capable of. I already had firearms near me, around me, and threatened to me multiple times before this. So now this, so I'm like, is this my life? Like, am I finna die? Like, I didn't know what to think, because the way that he crashed my phone like that, I knew he was capable of hurting me. So he was blaming me, yelling at me, telling me, you know, you this, that, like you did this. This is your reason. You're the reason why. So then after all of that, when I finally get in the car, I was like, just at least let me contact my mom. So I contact my mom, and I lied to her. She knows to this day. She probably gonna be watching this, but I lied to her, and I was like, you know, my phone fell off from the top of the car, because I was trying to protect his image at the time, because my mom did like him, and like I said, he put on this, portrayed this image like he was a good man, and he was a complete. All I could say is I hope that and pray that the Most High have mercy on anybody that I ever talked to. Like I said, this is not to bash. This is to bring a light to sisters. This is my story. This is my documentary to tell you guys how the Most High brought me out of it, and that he is so divine. He is so merciful, because I could have been dead, like I said in the first episode, literally. And the Most High don't play when people are living in sin. And a lot of people don't think that because the Most High is loving, that he will not allow somebody to die, to be hurt. Yes, the Most High is like that. He's, like I say, he's a God of vengeance, and he's a God of love. Yes, he doesn't play. Once you are being disobedient, you're going against his word, he will chastise you. And that's just the truth. But anyways, going back fast forward. So I tried to contact my mom, and I was like, telling her, this is what happened. She was like, okay, but I made him end up buying me another phone, because I was not playing it. Buy me another phone. Like, you're gonna break it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be responsible. But in the midst of that, I was using my mom's phone at the time, and I remember going back to the day that happened. We were on the way back to my home. I was like, I just need to go home. Please let me go home. He's like, and you're not gonna tell your mom, are you? And I was like, quiet. I'm like this in the passenger seat, like, quiet. It's like, if you're gonna tell her, I'm not taking you home. You're gonna talk to my mom, or we're gonna talk to your mom, because I'm not having you leave my life. I'm not having none of this happen. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I won't tell her, or I won't, whatever. And I'm not gonna leave you. Just take me home. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm leaving this nigga. I am not coming. No, heck no. Once I saw what I saw, what I'm telling y'all cannot amount to what I saw. That was the most craziest experience that I ever experienced. And then, once all of that happened, I went home. Yeah, he finally took me home. And I remember I was laying in my bed. My face was still drowned in tears right in the midst of this man laying right by me. And he's like, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna give you a call in the morning. I'm like, he's like, well, because it was getting late, so my mom didn't play all that staying late stuff. So he went home, and I just remember I was just crying and crying and crying. I'm like, I don't have my phone. I don't have nothing. And when my mom did give me her phone that she didn't use anymore, I had Facebook, and he knew my Facebook, and he ended up calling me. And since he had my mom's number in his phone, he ended up calling her, and I was planning a plan out. I'm just gonna ghost him. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna ghost him, But he already contacted my mom, and like I said, I was gripped with fear. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody nothing. So when he did that, I'm like, dang, I gotta stay. Square one. So I'm back to square one. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I ended up getting really, really scared. And he's like, my mom, because I remember I think I was coming out of the shower. She told me, she's like, so-and-so contacted you and said, he's gonna come by and see you and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was trying to get away from this nigga. So yeah, and then fast forward, we ain't gonna make this story too long, but just all to say, there were more times where, like, he would just physically yell at me or physically act crazy. And I remember the last day that I left him. We're gonna get into the second story, because the second one, I actually went back to him. I tell you, those spirits is real. Those spiritual covenants, those spiritual things that you make with a person is serious, because you will have that spiritual blindness on your eyes to make you think that this stuff, like, I knew in the back of my mind, of course, this wasn't okay, but at the same time, I kept having too much mercy on him to keep coming back into my life. Oh, I'm gonna do better. Oh, everything's gonna be okay. Oh, I won't do this again. This is not who I am. I'm only doing these things because this is what happened when I was younger. No. Okay. And I remember the last day when I was trying to leave him. This is the first time we was together. And I remember one day I woke up and I was like, I can't keep doing this, because it would be so many times he would go through a lot of mental, baggage load of mental health issues, where it was interfering with my mental health. Like, I looked at sickly, I looked at unhealthy, I was drained. I would see him a lot of times punching stuff, breaking stuff. I remember one time he came to my house and called me to come outside because his whole hand right here was bleeding, because him and his mom got in an argument. because he blamed it on me. Mind you, like I said, narcissists will do this. Blame me and told me that I was the reason why he did what he did to his mom's, because he ended up kicking his mom's stove in. And he got mad at me because I didn't want to have a conversation early. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and around this time he would go to work. So I didn't want to have a conversation. So he ended up kicking his mom's stove in. He blamed it on me. And when he left the house, he ended up punching his steering wheel very hard. No, it was his computer. Sorry, it was his computer. He was punching it so hard to the point where his whole hand right here was like cut up, and it was bleeding. He came by my house for some reason, like I was just this doctor, nurse, and I had to clean him up and help him, bandage him up. And all of that was just too much on my mental health, because he would always have these rage moments where he would destruct property or destruct himself, or was either about to destruct me, and blaming me all the time, yelling at me all the time, controlling me. I couldn't have a say-so. I couldn't have a, I don't want to see you today. I need space. I don't want to do this today. I need space. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't have a say-so with him. Like, he would always be clingy to me and like would never like let me breathe. And that was it was too much for me, because he was already toxic anyways, and it was, his mental health was all around the way anyway. So I didn't want to keep being around that, and I had, like I said, it was grip of fear. I didn't want to tell nobody, so I stayed in it even though I didn't want to. So anyways, the last day I was about to leave, I think I sent him a huge paragraph. I was like, hey, you know, I'm about to, I don't want to do this no more. I can't keep doing this. This is affecting my mental health. This is affecting even my physical look was looking different. I didn't look like myself. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I need this. You haven't changed. You keep saying you're sorry. You keep saying you're not going to do this no more. You keep saying that, you know, whatever, but you're still doing it. And, kid you not, he was at work, by the way. He was at work. He literally got off work, didn't even clock out, didn't even tell his manager nothing. He just left and was like, I'm on my way. And I immediately started getting back into that fear mode. It was like a shut, like it just, every time like things were, my body would just shut down and be going like, oh shoot, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I would go back in that fear mode. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what this man capable of. Because what he did my phone last time, and how he already be acting, destructing property and all of that, I didn't know what was going to happen. So he ended up pulling up. And I ended up coming outside, and he was like, I just want to have a conversation. That conversation ended up taking us all the way to his mom's house. And I'm like, huh? You know, we were supposed to be having a conversation. And he kind of lured me in to get me away from his home. And we ended up going to his mom's house, and I just remember I was separate from him. I was on this mattress. I was going to sleep. I took a nap because I was really tired. I was drained from all of his mess, and he was on the computer. And I just remember I woke up, and I was like, don't think it's all good. What we doing? I need to go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. We had a conversation, but I made my mind up. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be in this no more. I want to take care of my mental health. I want to get me back together. And he literally got up. I don't even want to use that because that's disrespectful. But he literally got up, and he had a notebook in his hand, and he literally did this. He went, he was like, if you want to ever leave me again, leave me. Just leave me. Just do it. Just do it. Like, he was just going in. And mind you, his mom was there. So his mom came out. I didn't know what she was saying because she was Hispanic. So I couldn't understand anything that she was saying. And they going at it in Spanish. All I know was she was getting on him. But it would be times where his mom would pull me to the side, like, you need to leave him because he's not getting no better. You're a good girl. I can tell you're a good girl. And this man is capable of some dangerous stuff, and you need to leave. And anyway, so basically, yeah, And I'm not even at this point. My spirit was just dead. Like I didn't even care. I couldn't give no reaction. I couldn't cry. I couldn't be upset. All I knew was I'm tired and I can't keep doing this. So what, you getting mad, all of that, I couldn't react no more like I used to. Oh, he's getting mad, oh shoot. Like I just wanted to be left alone. And he ended up going outside and going down the stairs, and I ended up getting in his vehicle because I'm like, I need you to take me home. He was like, I need to go to this store first. I ain't gonna name the store. He was like, I need to go to this store first. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, bro, just take me home, okay? And he would not take me home. But all I know, he was stalling around the neighborhood. And I remember I seen his gun. Something told me to hide it. And I started getting back into that fear mode when I seen that firearm, because mind you, like I said, what I went through before a previous relationship. So I hid his firearm and I put it under the seat. And all I remember is when he did calm down, he got in the car and he was like yelling. I can't remember word for word what he was saying, but he was still going on. And he was like, man, where my gun at? He was like, man, where my gun at? And I was like, oh, excuse me. I was like, I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. And my heart is just like beating out my chest. And I was like, I don't know where it's at. He was like, man, where my gun? Bro, I promise you, somebody in the neighborhood stole my gun. I know something. So I was like, you know what? You're not healthy to drive. Let me drive. So we ended up switching. And I just remember we was going almost like kind of going in this back road, almost going around this roundabout, and he started like going nuts. He started hitting the dashboard like this. He ended up like, where my gun at? Where my gun at? And then I'm doing, I want to say that I was praying in my head. I'm like, God, like, I need you to protect me, like, for real. I know I made some mistakes. I know I did some, like, I know I asked you to take me out of the last previous situation and out of this situation, but I'm done. If you can get me out of this situation, I promise you I will never come back again. He ended up taking his backpack. His backpack had bullets in it. He took his backpack and he started flinging it on the dashboard. This was like a dang movie scene. I kid you not. He was taking it, like, going like this, and all the bullets was flying everywhere in the car, inside of the car, everywhere. Mind you, and at the time I'm driving. I'm like, Lord, please don't let this man harm me, kill me. I'm talking to God at this point. Even though I had my phone and I wanted to call my mom, I didn't want to call her in front of him because I knew what he was capable of. So, all praise to the Most High. He put on his spirit to get out of the car. So when he got out of the car and he was walking down the sidewalk while I was still driving, mind you, I was still driving while he got, but luckily the back road that we went into was like 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it's not like I was driving fast. He just hopped out the car and was just pissed off. So when he got out the car, I pulled into this apartment neighborhood and I got the gun from under the seat and I went out to this open area where the bushes were and I threw the gun out there. I literally just, out of fear, I just threw it out there. I was like, and I called my mom. I told her, I was like, Mom, come get me. Just please come get me. She's like, what's going on? One thing about my mom, she don't play about me. Okay, she do not play. So she's like, what's going on? Like she naming my name, like coming from, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I need you to tell me what's going on. I'm like, Mom, please. All I need you to do is come get me, and I promise you I'll explain everything. At that point, I didn't give no dang about what kind of fear I was feeling. I was finna tell my mom everything. I need you to help me, because it was getting crazy. So she's like, okay, I'm on my way. She's like, you're going to make me have anxiety. You're going to make me have all these, I'm going to just please. So he ended up walking, when he was walking down the street, I pulled back out of that neighborhood from where I threw the gun at, and I came back out. And I drove up, he was right there, and I stopped and I let him get in the car. And I was like, listen, we about to go back to your mom's house. And I was like, I already told my mom, she's coming to get me. I told her I need her to come get me. She's like, why would you tell her that? Now she's gonna think of this about me. Now she's not gonna think about. And I was like, listen, girl, I need to go home. He's like, I'm going with you then. He's like, I'm going with you. I'm gonna hop in the car with you then. And I was like, no. And we ended up making it back to his neighborhood. And I'm waiting for my mom. And his mom, not my mom, but his mom ended up pulling up. I think she went, when we left, she left. She came back. She was pulling in. And when I got out the car, I was like, I'm gonna stay outside of the car. And when I was staying outside of the car, oh my gosh, I don't want to be long-winded, but I was staying outside of the car, and he was like, get in the car, B-word. He was like, get in the car, B-word. He kept calling me a B-word. He kept calling me all kinds of names. He was like, get in the car, mainly B-word. He was like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. Like, he just kept saying it over and over like a freaking radio. And he was like, just get in the car. I'm not playing with you. Get in the car. I'm not playing with you. Like, literally. And I'm like, I'm not getting in the car. I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm staying right here until my mom comes. Mind you, there's people, like, it was like maybe 2 people was out from where we were, and they were staring at us. So that was already embarrassing. So he was like, get in the car. Get in the car. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. Now, it was stated when we got in the relationship again the second time that he did throw a bullet at me, and I didn't even know it. And he said yes, that day that all that happened, he threw a bullet at me, and he said the bullet dodged you and it went towards my car. And immediately I knew the Most High was protecting me right there and then, because I didn't even know, I didn't even see it. I didn't even know. I think because it was so much going on that day that my mind couldn't grasp everything. But yes, he stated in the second relationship he threw a bullet at me, and not with like shooting a gun at me, but I'm saying like he threw one of the bullets that he had at me, and it dodged me and went towards his car. So, anyways, going back fast forward. So my mom ended up pulling up. She was there, and I was like, she rolled down the window, and he was right here, and I was right here. And she was talking to him. She was like, what's going on? She was like, because she's so innocent of mind. She don't know this man been terrible as hell to me. What's going on? You okay? Y'all good? What's going on? I'm like, Mom. I got in the car. I said, let's go. She's still rambling on because she's innocent of mind. I don't know what this man been doing to me. I'm like, Mom, let's go. And he was like, let me get in the car with y'all. I'm like, Mom, let's go. Let's go. What are we chopping it up? Let's go. This man is cuckoo. And I just remember when we was pulling off, he was chasing the car. I'm not even lying. This man was chasing the car. He was chasing the car, chasing the car, chasing the car. And when we came out, he was like, Carrie, what? She was like, what is this man doing? What is wrong with him? And I'm telling her the whole story as we riding off. I'm like, Mom, this man been doing this. That day that I told you that my phone fell off the car, he's the one who did this to my phone. This is what happened. I'm laying it out on the table. I don't care no more. I'm crying. I'm like, Mom, I can't do this. I was overwhelmed with so much feelings and emotions that I could not feel like I couldn't almost breathe. I'm like, all I know is I just want to go off and heal. And my mom ended up calling my stepdad because she was in fear, because my mom get really bad anxiety when it comes to me. She doesn't like play when it comes to me, and I don't know who mom wouldn't play by the child. But we was at the stoplight, and I'm not lying to y'all, I literally look, I don't know what, but I just like looked this way to where my mom was, and he was right there. I don't know how that man got there so fast, but I know that he was literally right there at the window, and he was staring in between, and he was like telling me to call him. I'm like, I'm not calling. My mom was like, oh my gosh, this man is crazy. He's crazy. Because my mom she only knew what she saw that day. Because like I said, I was being quiet the whole time. I didn't tell her anything. So she was like, this man is crazy. And so she ended up calling my stepdad, and he luckily got off. He was like right down the road from us. And he ended up telling us home because we didn't know if he was telling us. But all I know is that whole day, I didn't even want to go to sleep. I don't even think I could go to sleep. I tried to stay up majority of the time, and I kept checking out the window to see if he'll ride past, because he kept telling me that he's gonna come by, he's still gonna come by, he's still gonna be with me and all this kind of stuff. And I was scared to go to sleep. I didn't even want to go to sleep. I kept checking that window, and so much fear. And my mom was just in shock because she did not expect all of this. And anyway, so now I'm gonna leave that whole story alone. Now I want to say the second time we got in a relationship, I went back to him because Satan was plaguing me, because I was actually doing better with my life. I was putting a lot of things down. I was trying to do better, and not the most high, but Satan was trying to tip me with old spirits that I was dealing with. He wanted me to be back in that toxic relationship. So somehow we got in contact with each other again. And was fast forward in a relationship, it was the same thing but 10 times worse. This time it was mainly more of verbal abuse, a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of you did this, you still doing that, pointing fingers, a lot of knives towards itself, like stuff like that. A lot of like, you don't have no choice, I'm picking you up, same thing, like you don't have no choice, control. And I just remember my skin would like be breaking out everywhere. Like I was losing weight, a lot of weight, my skin was breaking out, I looked it unhealthy. I know that one scripture that I think sin can change the countenance of a woman. So all that sin and spirits that I was dealing with was starting to make my face look very demonic. I'm just use the key points of the relationship. As I remember, it would be times where his face would change to me spiritually. I remember one night I was with him, and then he asked me about something and I denied, and he ended up like looking at me, like it's like his eyes changed. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like I knew a demonic spirit came over him because his face looked it distorted and it looked it scary. And he was like, I feel like KILLING somebody. And all I knew was, oh my gosh, what did I get myself back into, bro? And I'm like, bro, I asked the Most High to get me out of the first situation with him, and now I'm back with him again. And I just remember I was crying again. I was just crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be around this no more. And I remember one time another incident happened where hands were involved, and I tried to get up and he would forcefully pluck me down like that, or like do this to me. It was a lot of things that happened. It was worse than the first time, I'm gonna say that. But I'll praise the Most High that I am alive, and that I am able to be a testimony, and to tell you, sisters, that that is not healthy. And if you are dealing with that stuff, you need to separate. You need to talk to somebody that you can trust, and you need to pray for that man. You need to pray for those people who hurt you, and you need to forgive yourself for, first of all, allowing yourself to be in that situation. And you need to separate. You definitely need to separate, because you don't know what it can turn into. So that was my the domestic violence story, an abuse story, mental abuse, narcissistic behavior, all of those kind of things to behavior. I'm not saying that these people may be better today, you know, our person outside, they may be better today, they may have given their life to God, but like I said, you know, we all have a testimony, we all have different lots, and that was the lot that I dealt with. And I had to come with simpler terms that, you know, I had to forgive myself for allowing me to be in that situation, because I put myself in jeopardy. I put myself in so many, first of all, judgments, because, you know, everything that we do on earth will be judged, of course, but we did get, when we ask for forgiveness, like I brought out in 1 John, he is faithful to forgive. But we don't just keep going back to things that the Most High delivered us from. Because just imagine how the Most High felt when I asked him the first time to get me out of that, and I came back to it. So it's just like, the Most High couldn't, he probably didn't even have to have mercy on me, and he could allow that man to literally kill me because he was capable of it. So yeah, but now spiritual emptiness comes from when you're trying to fill a void that only God can fill. So a lot of us run to drugs, a lot of us run to sex, a lot of us run to eating comfort foods. There's so many things that you can fill yourself with spiritually that will leave you empty. So, fornication can be trying to fill a spiritual void that you're lacking from the Most High. You're lacking that love and identity in Him, and so you go and you find it in different men. Or if you dealt with, I know I'll be touching in that topic in my book, when I do read it, is daddy issues, like not having that father and looking for that love within different men and trying to find a man that may be similar, to the characteristics that your dad could give you. And so you may try to fill that spiritual void with these things. And I'm here to tell you right now, there's no amount of sex that you can have. There's no amount of drugs that you can take. There's no amount of food that you can keep on eating, amount of shopping that you can keep on doing that will fill the spiritual void that the Most High can give you. So if you are using fornication to fill a void, to feel good, for only lasts for a little moment, and then first of all, that now requires eternal judgment if you do make it, if you don't make it. So we have to put these things in mind. We think temporal and we think that we have time, but the Lord is speeding the time up. So we must come out of the ways of Babylon and stop cleaving to it, because the world will teach us that fornication is okay, and you can do whatever you want, and you can lay with whoever you want to. And this is how these things come about. The names that I name, like the spiritual soul ties, the covenants, domestic abuse. And that leads me into my next topic now, is parent planhood. If we just listen to what the Most High says, like, marrying a righteous person, being evenly yoked with a man or woman of God, doing marital precautions correctly, then these things would not be happening. Sexual diseases wouldn't be on the earth. Parent planhood wouldn't even be a thing, because we would have a 2-parent household. We wouldn't be fearful to give our babies up to these people. Which, if you've been watching those files, if you know what I'm talking about, these people do demonic stuff. And you are giving something, a fetus, that the Most High blessed you with, first of all, because a lot of women are barren and cannot have children. And you're doing it because, I see a lot of sisters, TikTok, people that be like, y'all finna go to parent, fuck this baby, or, I'm gonna hurt this baby, I'm gonna keep on punching it, or girl, you need to go to parent plan, or you need to go get you aboard. Like, people make it a joke, but I don't think we realize that one of the things that the Most High hates, which is in the Bible, is that He hates when a woman or a man sheds innocent blood. So when you are giving your fetus or a baby in your womb up to a total complete stranger, y'all don't know what these people are doing. I'm telling you, do your research. Y'all don't know what these people are doing with these fetuses that you give them. And you could be serving, because like I said, this world is not what we think it is. And if you do your research and you ask the Father to reveal to you and take that spiritual blindness, you understand that this world is wicked. And that's why Christ has to return, because He's finna wipe all that wickedness away. But some of these people literally take these things, eat it, drink it, and serve it to their God. If you don't believe me, there's a God called, I'm gonna put it right here, I'm not even gonna mention the name. And in the ancient times, they used to offer their babies up to this God. And if you don't think that these people are not doing it today, you are insane. Because Solomon said in scripture, there is nothing new under the sun. So when a lot of people were like, whoa, when the files came out, I been knew about that stuff before that even came out. The Lord already revealed that to me, that this is what's going on. This is why you can't put your trust, your identity in this world, because it's not a foundation you can put yourself on, because this world is wicked. It's disgusting. And if that's only half, those files is only the half of the things that y'all know. But y'all have to be careful what y'all are willingly giving yourselves to, because this world is not what y'all think it is. Okay? Parenthood is not a part of the Most High's plan. That's a part of the people's plan. His plan originally from the beginning was for a woman and a man to be fruitful and to multiply. He made us to produce and to replenish the earth. And if we decide to give it to a person in the clinic, then you're willingly sacrificing that baby. You're shedding innocent blood. And if you have done that, I'm not condemning you, but all I can say is ask for forgiveness and repent from it, because we can all learn from things. You know, we all have different lives. We all have different stories. There's a such thing called Plan B. Don't get it twisted. That you're not exempt. Plan B is also shedding innocent blood. It's still a form of a baby. It's still an act of, I don't want this child because of this. But if you lay down with that person, you always hear older person, you take that responsibility. You decided to lay down. So, parenthood, like I said, if y'all keep his commandments and his statutes, we wouldn't have to worry about these things. You might have, the Lord may bless you with a righteous man, for you to have a 2-parent household where you don't have to even have the thought of giving your child up to a clinic. Now, we're going to talk about lust and love bombing. Lust and love bombing, I feel like, is part of fornication, because as human beings, especially in the society, we think that we can just look on the outside of a person and that tells you all you need to know. No, the insides of a person is what you really want to look for. And if you keep looking at that man's looks, you don't know what he's capable of. And I'm a living testimony. I gave y'all my testimony what happened to me. And you can't keep looking at the looks. You can't. You can't, like, oh, I want to get with this man. We're going to have some beautiful children. We're going to have some this. We're going to have some this. We're going to look cute on the internet. But this person is spiritually dead. It's like the Walking Dead. The Most High don't care about that man's flesh. He care about how is he pouring into your spirit, sis. He's not worrying about if this man look cute, if he got a Lamborghini, if he got this, if he got, no. So when we choose love and righteousness. We choose love a man that wants to pray, that wants to intercede when you're going through something spiritual, and be able to spiritually rebuke you and correct you in love. A man who's going to want to himself love the Most High more than he loves you. And when he loves the Most High more than he loves you, then he's able to be a good spiritual covering over you. You have the Most High, you have Christ, and then you have your husband. But if you don't have a covering, you have Christ as your covering. So just want to put that out there. Love bombing. Some men will tell you, and this goes for the people in the world and the sisters in the truth that's single. Do not allow a man to love on you and give you all these false promises. I have always heard that love is an action word. If a person cannot act behind how much they love you and show you that they love you, then it's like, no. You can do this all day, but what's your actions? A man can make false promises and only want to get in your underwear, and then what? You're fornicating now. So it's like you have to really examine a man's character and don't just give it up easily just because he's cute, just because he's love bombing you, just because he gave you a good morning text, just because he bought you some breakfast. Like did we lose our morals? And that leads me down to my next topic. This is my last one. Is that all you have to offer? Is your private area all that you have to offer? That having sex is what makes you valuable? what makes you noticed, what makes you seen, heard, whatever the case. You're more than that. The Most High says that ye are the temple of God. You are His. You are His daughter. He says you are mine. And if you are going out here and using your temple as something freely that somebody can just lay into and lay all their spiritual demon eggs in you, it's like you have to be careful. And I'm not talking about like babies. I'm talking about like their spiritual demons coming to you, because now y'all are entering to a covenant that you cannot see spiritually. So you have to really think about what are you entering into, because that's not all you have to offer. You know, you can have relationships without having sex. You guys can get to know each other. I'm not talking about marriage. I totally believe that's a part of marriage, but I'm saying relationships, the courting phase, the dating phase. You guys can get to know each other first, and you know, because that's not all you have to offer. And women too, that's coming out of the world and coming into the truth, and you may be courting a brother, and those old spirits may come up on you like, yeah, you know, you need to give it up so, you know, brother can be hooked. You know, no, that's just a dumb mindset to have. You know, you are more than sex. You know, sex is just an additional. You know, we should be focused on trying to get to the kingdom and, you know, serve the Father. You know, your body is more than sex. You're not a sex toy. You're not something, you know, any of that nature. And I remember I was watching Beauty in Black in the midst of me finishing off Harlot to Hebrew, and I just remember I was like about to dang near cry because I was watching it. And if y'all haven't watched it, go watch it. I know there are some scenes in there, and if you want to skip them, you can. But definitely, like, that whole show, first of all, it was really good. But you have women that actually is going through that out here in the world. And I think that's what led me even more in the midst. I was so excited to actually put this book out, because there's so many women that learn the ways of this world, and they think that that's all they have. Like, I have to keep on running this gimmick, this image, this thing, or they may have been put out when they was younger by their mother and they actually go out to a strip club and sell their bodies to get money to make it by, just like that girl did in Beauty in Black on Netflix. And it's like you have some women out here that is really like living that lifestyle that don't know how to get out of it. But all I can tell you is, from my testimony, is you gotta lean on the Father. In the midst of those times where I gave my testimony about the domestic violence stuff, and I literally didn't know what to do, I was praying to the Father in my mind, like, Lord, I need you to help me. Like, get me out of this situation. I had to think about the Most High, because I couldn't get myself out of that. He couldn't get, because he was capable, and both of them was capable of anything. So all you can do is pray to the Father in hopes that He will get you out of it. You cannot lean on yourself, okay? You can tell people as much as you want, but you have to lean on the Father, because He's truly going to be the one that gets you out of that. So I just want to say shalom. And in the next episode, you guys will see me reading the book, and I'll be going into the chapter fornication. All praise to the Most High, and I'm praying that you guys took something from it. I know this was a touchy and a lengthy, long video. If you guys want to say anything in the comments, y'all comment. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to comment, to let me know how you feel, something that you may have learned, or something you may have dealt with yourself, so other sisters can see the testimony that you have, so they can also be led to do better for their life. With that, I just want to shalom. Say shalom.